everybody, and welcome to the show that won nothing less than the Nobel Prize for our in-depth research paper that proved without a shadow of a doubt that C-3PO himself is the greatest sex doll ever made. It's 42 minutes later.
R2's got all the appendages.
Well, I think everything ends in a threesome with those guys, right?
Yeah, I mean, Han Solo always used to call him Goldenrod. I mean, I don't know where that came from, but what goes on in the Millennium Falcon stays in the Millennium Falcon.
And for a few of those Wookiees, if R2-D2 has vibrate mode, he's a good old nub rub. Just grab him and go, right?
Nub rub, isn't that one of the things that Ewoks says? Nub rub.
It was in the Christmas special, but it ended on the cutting room floor.
Nub it up.
Yeah, hearing somebody get excited because they found the man in the boat spoke in Wookiee, it just didn't come off correctly, even with the candles in the room. It's one of those things. I've seen it, but I'm not allowed to show you. So,
what's it going to be like if you're like a solo sailor, and you're sailing around the world, you're in your yacht, but you're all alone, and yours is going to be called, the man in the boat.
Well, maybe I'll get some tickles. If I was sailor, I'd be singing Friggin' in the Riggin' by the sort of Sex Pistols all the time. That'd be my sea shanty. I think that one's funny.
Sex Pistols? Are you sure about that?
Sort of Sex Pistols. It's from the Great Rock and Roll Swindle, which really isn't the Sex Pistols anymore. But
yeah, I can't remember who did that. I remember the song. Yeah. I remember that. We used to all sing it at school. We don't know why.
Yeah, but remember, the original Sex Pistols aren't the Sex Pistols unless you include Johnny Rotten singing. So there's a thing too, right?
Oh, you didn't change the band funding. Or did we get new? Hang on.
No, they're the same ones. It always carries over to the next show for some reason.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know why it does that.
Ignore me then. Carry on.
All right.
Ignore that bit. We'll edit that bit out.
Yeah. If somebody's stupid enough to send us a super chat, we'll we'll know because it'll show up. Right. So
for God's sake, somebody send us a super chat so we can just. It's a technical check.
Yeah,
it's not because we're after your money. It's a technical check. We should demand that from you.
Everybody chuck up 10 spot. Make sure it's working, right? Yeah, exactly. We've heard rumors that the super chat button isn't working, so we need every one of you to try it right now.
Test it.
Yeah. I'll just sit here and wait.
It is kind of funny, though. Some streams, the super chat buddy is just like rolling in, and they're just like sitting there going, "Yeah, send us a super chat, send us a super chat, send us a super chat, send us a super chat. If you haven't sent us a super chat yet, send us a super chat." We say nothing really.
Maybe we should
say it. We're doing it as a joke.
Maybe we should use over the top clickbaity thumbnails about nuclear war and Russia and stuff. But then,
hey, though, didn't it look like it? That damn explosion at that depot. Oh my God, that was amazing. I'll tell you what, I would have loved to have been there to see that.
Oh yeah,
it just kept going and going and
I'd have got some sticks and whittled off the ends a bit and got some hot dogs. That'd have been great. Oh yeah. I hear hot dogs cook really good on the roasting corpse of orc weapons.
Yeah, well, I'm not too sure about that.
Oh yeah, I'm sure they do.
Tastes a bit polonium-y.
Yeah. Yeah. Demonicus in the chat says, "Are you thinking about Enforcer?" I'm not one to enforce my opinions on unbelievably shitty grifting fuck YouTube channels. I won't do that.
Hey, I'm growing to like them. In the same way I'm growing to like flat earthers.
Masochist.
Yeah. They're all right. They do their thing. They keep to themselves.
Keep in mind that
nobody bothers them.
Well, keep in mind that Dunk's wife whips him to sleep every night. So, He's into punishment.
Yeah. Believe me, I don't need to whip in.
Yeah, Demonicus, no love lost here. None at all, man.
Oh, them guys, them sweet guys.
Yeah. They're like the children in an 80s sitcom that was brought in to revive it, and then it didn't work, so they just kind of forget them.
No, they're not. No, they're not, because they're doing really well. When you're talking about the kids who come into into
Brian Bonsale from Family Ties.
The TV show is dying, and they bring in someone else. And we've got to recast, and the TV show dies even more. Yeah, no, it fails and it disappears. And of course, they're doing all right. Yeah, they're doing all right for themselves. They're doing very well.
But at this point, they're like actors, though, right? They're playing it's just, I don't know, not my thing. Anyway, I don't want this. Hold on. I don't want this to be, because then that steps into that realm of,
I'm not going to
this isn't snide remarks anymore. Now we're doing commentary, right?
But it does make you wonder. It's a bit like when you.
Doesn't actually.
It makes you wonder when you form
actually.
I haven't finished these fucking.
I'm not letting you start with that because it doesn't.
No, when you start a band, right, and it's a big success, and it was like a big success in the 80s, and that's all your audience want to hear when you through. I've had a career full of stuff, and you just want to hear that. So it's the same sort of thing with a YouTube channel like theirs, where they got big because they hit on a subject that would just blew up. Literally, like
bullshit
blew up. And,
Ukraine! I thought you meant bullshit. Okay, that's just.
But but they have to carry on, and you kind of wonder, do they actually like it? Do they actually want to do it, or are they just carrying on because that's.
At this point, the few times that I've watched, like lately in comparison to before, I hear people that are, purposely psyching themselves up, getting in the mood so that they can play the role and be the character and stuff. And to me, that's, if you want to do it, it's real. Like, could you really think you can do that for 40 years? I don't know.
Well, there must be a
slave to the algorithm, bitch.
There must be a similar thing as other YouTubers out there that start off a channel, and I mean, like, just say for instance, the people who go into like fighting the flat Earth. I just meant as a general terminology. I wasn't having to go at Craig or anything like that. But people who are flat Earth fighters, shall we say? And they get into it and they think at some point, oh my god, I wish I wasn't doing this. I wish I was doing something else.
Kevin Woldridge in the chat just wrote a song, but he doesn't quite know it yet. Somebody's got to write the lyrics. I could probably sing it, but Kansas, carry on, wayward son. It would be carry on, my grifter sons. You'll be rich when you are done. Figure it out.
Right? Singing a tune on that.
Yeah, but I'm not doing it.
Yeah, no, he's trying to avoid a copyright strike by singing it out of key.
Yeah, well, not just that. I'm trying not to sing it because they're blockers, right? Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but going back to the subject, though, it must be that sort of thing where people just have like YouTube burnout. It's like, I've started a YouTube channel where I'm going to talk about pizza and how to make pizza and 7,000 things about pizza dough you didn't know about, and I've got to come up with another one next week.
Yeah, unless you're 75-year-old Italian, how long is that going to last? It's the 10 things you did. There are the people who talk about Star Trek, and it's always like the 10 things you didn't know about, blah blah. As soon as I see 10 things or top 5, I instantly just go not interested. I just can't get that off my screen fast enough. Holy fuck!
That's the interesting things about Star Trek when you have these channels that are dedicated to Star Trek, and it's like 10 things you didn't know about. Okay, it start off with 10 things you didn't know about Star Trek. Then it'll be 10 things you didn't know about Star Trek the motion picture. Then it's 10 things you didn't know about in that
the Enterprise D's bathroom,
it'd be the 10 things you didn't know about that part of the film, which is 30 minutes into 31 minutes, because we're running out of things to pick. 10 things you didn't know about. And then when you find out the 10 things, 9 of them you already know.
10 things you didn't know about William Shatner's girdle. But the thing that drives me nuts is anytime you see 10 things you didn't know about and insert TV show or movie here, you can go to IMDb and find those points and then go and push play on the video and watch them just read it off.
Yeah, because that's exactly where they come from.
Yeah. What you should do is at the end of the movie is go to IMDb and just read that shit. But IMDb has become this annoying place where you read through the trivia section and 17 people have posted how 2 of the actors in the movies were in other movies together. That's not trivia about this movie, really. I wish they would stop letting that shit through.
And actually, the funny thing about that is, if you click on the actor, you can find that information out yourself. Without having to be told, because you go, there is another film.
Yeah. Or another thing IMDb does is you look through the pictures for the movie because you're thinking, did I see that or not? And you need a visual reference to remember. And 2/3 of the pictures are all of them standing there at premieres and stuff. That's not the movie. Just fucking, I don't care about fashion pics about some jerk off. I don't know, I don't care. Fuck. Side boob in a sexy dress isn't porn. Don't care, right? That's like, catalog, caring for your father's National Geographic book or something. But you know what I mean? They put that stuff up because, sexy actresses and, hunky dudes. And I don't want to see the movie, fuck. Hate that crap.
You hate everything.
Oh, I hate a lot of things. Oh, let me show you something. So this is what I'm using as a mouse right now. It's one of those vertical thingies. I got 30 days to try it before I have to return it. And for the first...
Are you sure you haven't just not taken out the packaging?
Yeah. Well, I've been tempted by these because I've got, with the guitar playing and everything and keyboarding and all this stuff and whatnot, I've got susceptible wrists to this crap, right? So I've tried them in the store and it's like I can feel it's more relaxing to hold it that way as soon as I touch it. But can I get used to the damn thing, right? No sponsorship. This is Logitech, and I fucking hate that company. But I was scared to try one of the cheapo whatever brands, so I just went with the Logitech one. So I get it home, and it's okay, but it's weird. And I've been using it through the whole show tonight, and I realized that when I've got something to concentrate on and I'm not thinking of the mouse, it's actually performing awesome. But the weird thing is I now feel because for fuck's sakes, okay, you hold it like this, right? So when I switch my hand from holding the mouse like this to this on the keyboard now my wrist goes, I don't like that as much. So do I have to get some kind of weird stand-up keyboard thing?
Yeah, like a keyboard, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm not sure it's going to work out now because as I switch from mouse to keyboard, my wrist is still going, well, you're an asshole. So I'm not sure that it's working, right?
It is a bit like swapping from, guitar to keyboard. Well, when I say keyboard, I mean piano keyboard, because you're practically fretting the mouse now.
Yeah. And for the first few hours I used it, this finger... kept right clicking the damn thing because I'm not used to holding my hand that way. And that little contextual menu was popping up everywhere, but I got it under control now. But I have this thing where I got big paws and like I can hold a basketball just doing this. And
you know what they say about a man with big paws. He waits a long time.
But yeah, so, and this one is large. They have a smaller one, but this one is large and it really fits my hand well. My other mouse, my proper mouse, is a massive Logitech, again, mouse. But the one thing I found odd is this thing is light. Like, it feels like cheap Chinese garbage. And I'm used to, like, I like a mouse that has a bit of weight to it. I remember a bunch of years ago when you would buy a gaming mouse, this thing on the bottom would screw off and you could actually put weights in to weight the mouse. And this doesn't have that, right? So I'm going to have to, if I decide to keep this thing, I'm literally going to have to go into it and, like, hot snot or glue, whatever, some fishing weights into it, because it's just not heavy enough. I don't like it. I can't control the thing properly, Does anybody else know what I'm talking about? A heavy mouse,
Yeah, maybe it's a software thing. You have to dial up the weight in the software for the mouse.
Oh yeah, but you got to charge. They charge you $3.99 a month for that, right?
It's a gravity setting. You turn it up.
Mm-hmm.
A couple more G.
But yeah, I like the weight. So if I'm going to have to add a couple of, maybe a couple of ounces to it. Here, let me lift a jar full of grass and see. An ounce or two. Yeah, probably a couple. I'll just get some really dense weed and glue it in the mouse. There. Maybe not. It's not that cheap. But
Hey, a free live what do you say, consumer test.
Yeah.
It's a bit like Top Gear, this.
Yeah.
Top Mouse.
Yeah.
Welcome to tonight's show of Top Mouse. This
Tonight
could possibly be the best mouse in the world.
Yeah, you got the intro wrong, though. It's tonight. The Logic MX vertical on our track. The Apple Magic
mouse.
The Apple Magic trackpad takes a jump to the ditch with Richard Hammond, and James May goes back to the ball mouse days.
Yeah, I was going to say exactly. He's using a trackball, or a light pen.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And James May explains the light pen on a ZX Spectrum. All this and more. No, you'll get us. Yeah, the Allman Brothers will give us shit for that. Don't do that. Yeah.
Tonight, the star with a reasonably priced mouse.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll do it like they did on the Grand Tour when they had the stars against each other, and we'll have Bill Gates versus Steve Jobs' ghost. One button or two.
Yeah, I'm surprised Steve Jobs even allowed one button on this bloody thing.
I know. Well,
let's be fair. He did actually take it away eventually.
Yeah, he did get you a mouse that had no buttons at all. Like, it still had left and right click, but you couldn't see them. Right. But that's actually more Johnny Ives than Jobs, right?
But it's more fun to have a jab at Jobs.
Yeah, for sure. Especially now that he can't defend himself.
And no, Jabba Jobs wasn't in Star Wars.
We got a super chat in. See, it came up, so I got it right too. Yeah. Cypher there, $10 super chat. What the hell did I come into? Mouses and whatever. That'd be mice, son. Slava Ukraine. I always struggle with that. Is it mice when you're talking about computer mice? Because mice sounds wrong.
Mices, goose.
Mouses?
Goats.
Reese's? Thanks, Cypher. I remember the first computer I sent to my parents. they had never used like a mouse driven, ever a computer. So they knew that it was called a mouse. This was before wireless mice and stuff. See, I used them both. And they couldn't get it to work right. And it took me a while to figure out that they had the cord coming out the bottom towards themselves because that's where the tail of a mouse is.
Yeah, so that makes sense, you know.
Yeah. You
got your fingers stuck in his ears. So you left and right click. You know.
Yeah. But it was funny. It took a while. I'm on the phone with them. I'm like, what? This doesn't make sense. It worked perfectly before I packed it up. Yeah.
We stuffed it full of cheese and it doesn't like it.
Yeah. It said low power, so I tried to give it some cheese. But it was funny. But yeah, I'd sent them a Mac, so it was good because I was able to send iMovie edited things to them, and they would open in QuickTime every time and all that crap, and it made it simple. I can only.
It's like when I bought my my dad an iMac. It was like one of the really old fashioned. It was a Snow White one. There was
Gumdrop. Yeah.
It was a lovely Mac, and I got it for him because he's stupid. It's just spent years watching me on my computer, my ZX Spectrum, sitting there in the front room, and he'd be sit there with the telly, reading the newspaper, or whatever, and I'd be there on my computer, and it's like it just was like beyond him.
Yeah.
No comprehension whatsoever. I got on the iMac and showed him, the internet. Go and find out, and he was amazed because he was asking about a friend of his that was in the who he worked with, and it was in the Waffen SS during the war, and we found details about him. And
cool.
It's like, there you go. There's your friend you work with. The fucking Nazi. The point was he was stunned with what you could actually do with it. This was going back very early days of the internet, so dial up and all that kind of shit. So it wasn't as amazing as it is now. But the thing was, I sent it off home with the iMac, and he set it up at home, and my auntie came round to help him fix it. And by fixing it, I mean she deleted all the software on it and wondered why all the Microsoft stuff she installed onto the computer didn't work. All the Windows exe files wouldn't work.
Wow, what an idiot.
So I had to go up and just completely reinstall the system and everything. But it's just like, my God, don't. This is one of those sort of situations where you don't let friends and family help.
But she's the kind of person that would try to delete com.exe on a Windows system. So, nerd joke there for you. Yeah.
Yeah, once upon a time, I'd have understood that. I forget these things.
I have to say, when my last Mac died, not this one here, obviously, but my last one, I wasn't cashed up enough to get a powerful enough Mac, but I was able to get a powerful enough Windows system. One thing that drives me nuts is, the supposed Apple tax. But when you look at Apple Photos and iMovie and GarageBand and all this stuff you get with a Mac, I'm not sure it's really a tax because, Notepad and Windows until Windows 11 couldn't even do spell check, for God's sakes. But when I did switch to Windows for that 4 years there or whatever until Apple Silicon hit and I went back to Macs, I had no problem with Windows 10. Performance was good. I could just upgrade my RAM and my GPU when I wanted to. This was during a lot of the pandemic era, so upgrading your GPU was a very expensive proposition compared to what it should be. And now the prices have stayed. Not very impressed, but it worked great and all. And I was on Windows long enough that when I switched back to Mac with the Mac Studio I have now, I was a little thrown off by a few of the user interface conventions and a few of the things. Like, I remember I was bitching to Dunk all the time. Fucking thing, fucking pissing me off, you know? Right. But now that I'm settled back in, sure, I can't upgrade the RAM on the computer, but it's got 64 gigs. I'm good. I can't upgrade the graphics processor on it, but it's an M1 Ultra with the highest cores of graphics. So it's really totally good. No problem. I'm not a gamer, so I didn't care about being on Windows for that. I'm happy to be back on Apple, but this computer was bought used, 10 months old, and I saved about 46% from retail buying it used. Like, there is a premium on the product, you know, even, you know, with the justification of the software and stuff. Like, you know, if you're not a musician, you don't give a rat's ass about GarageBand, but it takes a lot of money and effort to do it. Same with iMovie and stuff. It, you know.
Oh, I mean, you can make a similar comparison about guitars. You can get a Fender Stratocaster, or you can get a Chinese one for 50 quid.
There's a difference there, though. I do think in the modern day, Windows and Mac are close enough operating system wise. It's more personal preference than one's better than the other. I do like Apple better for being less intrusive in the operating system. There's not as much tracking going on. They're better at helping me not let other companies track me. And they don't put like advertisements in my start menu and bubble bobble games and shit like that.
I'll tell you one thing that, because, you know, believe it or not, I wasn't, you know, a very avid PC user, you know, using it for work and stuff, you know, several years ago. You know, I just like rebuild the fucking BIOS of a dead computer, you know, in the days before, you know, broadband, you know, available to everybody and USB sticks. Oh my God, that was a pain in the ass. And I literally cried when the computer booted up again. I was just so fucking happy.
Oh yeah.
But also, the thing I don't miss about Windows, probably talking about it's like the XP years, so I'm not too sure if it's relevant now, but all the fiddling you had to do under the hood to keep things working, and you know, actually going into the registry.
Oh man.
Oh my God.
And registry fixes are more dangerous than ever now, and things. I agree there. Like, especially for the most part, on a Windows computer, you run the uninstaller, okay, you think you're done, but it leaves shit behind all the time. In the Apple world, the apps aren't installed. You just put them on your hard drive. Now, they do put a few files in a few folders, but
yeah, you get stuff in the library and stuff like that. So it's just a bit like the registry,
but not really, because they're not activated unless the app calls for them and stuff. They just sit there as dead files. The odd app is very intrusive and gets in there, and you've got to actually get rid of it. But for the most part, for the average user on a Mac, if you want to delete something, you just throw it in the fucking trash.
Yeah.
You know? Having said that, I'm a nerd and a geek on this stuff. So I have an uninstaller app that tracks everything and gets every one of those fucking files out. And I can't stand that. My OCD would go fucking crazy, right? But
it's like having an untidy desk.
Yeah. You know, but for the most part, for your average user, it's totally fine. And one thing I do want to interject with here on this topic of conversation, one thing a lot of people don't realize in this day and age is, for the most part, what you do on your computer is pretty much confined to the web browser. And whether you're on a Mac or a PC or a Linux box, Chrome is Chrome. It doesn't matter. All you have to do is get the web browser launched and you'll be fine. Right? You know, for the average person, that's kind of where it's at these days, you know?
Yeah. Even using applications, there's a lot of apps that are just basically, you know, web-based.
Oh, yeah.
Using your browser.
Yeah.
It's all very, very clever and modern.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, enough of, the OS battle or whatever, because I don't even see it. I will say I won't touch Windows 11. It's too intrusive and it's too tracking, and Microsoft is acting like Meta and Facebook.
Do you think they might, clear the deck for Windows 12 when it comes out, whenever that will be? Because they've only just brought out 11. It takes them like about 5 years to come up with a new fucking OS.
Yeah.
Do you think they'll have a bit of a sweep up, clean things up, or is this going to be like even more shit piled on, more AI, and more AI integration?
Oh God, who actually wants this? AI is going to go down as VR did back in the 16-bit console era and stuff, when everybody had the things you could plug in and they give you a headache. I don't think AI. I think right now it's going to be a bubble that bursts, but then AI will come back as a secondary run. Right now, everybody's running around playing with ChatGPT and having fun and stuff, but that's like getting a Tamagotchi or something. You get bored of it quick. For a lot of,
Yeah, but I in some ways I agree with that, but also I think what's happening is they're saying, people, we use AI. And so people look at AI and think, well, I don't know what to do with it. And then what's going to happen is it's going to be integrated into software. They're not even going to be aware they're even using it.
Yeah, well, that's true too.
Until it's taken away.
But that's
and then you'll be like buggered.
But that's where AI needs to get to the point where the AI is the Siri or Alexa. It should be something that just helps you in your computer use. I think Apple's got it right for this. And it shouldn't be an app that you turn to. It should just be there. It should be powering your spell checker and this and that and everything. I do want to address something. Paul in the chat said, hey, Dawson, you ever written programs in binary or DOSS? The closest I got to that was, machine language in the 6502 processor with Commodore and stuff. I was okay at that. But I never took it further because the life of a musician took over and all that stuff was more important. And I don't just mean sex, drugs, and stuff, although.
Yeah, I just use like machine code snippets in basic software. And then eventually end up using like encoder, kind of like basic to machine code compiling.
Yeah. AI Alchemist in the chat there. Oh, he lost his medical license. It's Mr. Dawson now.
Hey, talking about AI while we're on the subject, you were talking about in the show. If you haven't seen it, stop this now. Go and watch the 42 show, and then come back and watch this. Right? Okay, there you go. So you're talking about the YouTube thing with the new studio, the AI thing. What I was thinking is what we can do is like on a PubChat is open up that part of studio, find out what it recommends, and then we live
post it.
Go through the settings and record the short. And then just
watch it.
Watch it. Take it from there, and we can actually do it there and live in front of people. They can see the process, and then we can then just carry on doing what we normally do.
We're going to have another fundraiser for Annette's moving thing and everything coming up, and that'll be a longer stream. We could do that during that as a really entertaining side thing that goes through it. There is one problem to that, but if you get in trouble, you get in trouble. There is a thing in the YouTube terms of service where you're not supposed to show your YouTube studio on YouTube. Now, a lot of people do it, but you're technically not supposed to.
You're not allowed to talk about Fight Club.
Exactly. So they might get pissy if you do a YouTube short thing in their AI and then show that it got higher ranking than most of your shorts and stuff, right? That could be a thing. I still say, fuck it. Let's do it. I like the idea. I'm going to roll a joint.
Yeah, it'd be frustrating if it became like a viral hit. It's like, our stuff. the stuff.
Yeah, but
the stuff we put sweat and tears and blood into, and it's like this shit does not just go. This is what they want.
But you could probably play that to your advantage and make fun of it at the same time, right?
It might be fun. It might be funnier than me.
Yeah.
It might be depressing.
Yeah. We do an AI short that has our images, but the AI did the thing and it takes off. And during the stream where we do this live, we're like, well, we're kind of defeated now.
Meanwhile, because it's in the YouTube and it's all AI, YouTube are watching what's happening. They go, these two are funny. We've now downloaded them into our. We don't need them anymore.
Exactly. Yeah. They shadow ban the Shills worse than they already have at this point, right? Yeah. And just steal our personalities. Oh, shit. You know what? They're reading the transcript of this right now going, amazing idea.
Well, you can steal my personality because I haven't got one.
That's true. That's true. I've bought them 3 or 4 on the Monty Python marketplace and haven't worked.
Yeah. You got the bargain basement.
Yeah.
I wanted Eric Idle, but you got John Cleese.
Yeah. I bought an argument, got an asshole. I don't know.
Okay, for an argument.
Yeah. Oh, don't you hate it when you pull too much grass out of your jar and you cut it up and you got too much, so you got to put some in, but it's already cut up now, so you know it's going to dry out quicker.
First world problems. First world problems. There you go.
Canadian world problems.
Okay, third world problems.
Yeah. Third world money, first world attitude. Yeah. I thought it was funny when we decided to get rid of the $1 and $2 bills and go with coins. I thought right there and then, well, that's just asking for inflation because you've turned $2 into change, right? But then I started to realize it was a conspiracy from day one. They have hard edges on the coins and a lot of little slatty sides and stuff. I don't know how many sides they have, but they're a something a gone, right? And
I remember those in Doctor Who. God, they were scary.
And then
something
and then the toonie comes out and it's round, but it's got these little sandpaper parts every so often around it. And you know what it is? It's a conspiracy. Levi Strauss has taken over the Canadian government and they created coins to wear your jeans pockets out quicker. That's what it is. It's an assault on slacks.
Yeah, it's like the car industry. They lobbied for jean manufacturers to put rivets into the jeans.
Yeah,
scratching cars up.
Yeah, it scratches up your fine Corinthian leather. Oh shit! My doorbell. It's like somebody's doing this, so it's a child. Hold on.
Bing bong, bing bong, bing bong. Always let me do it now. What can I talk about? Oh yeah, did you miss me? I've been away. Oh well, you didn't miss me on what? I was here on the after show last week. Yeah, up in Yorkshire, lovely little Yorkshire. Helping my mother-in-law out. Oh, she's lovely, sweet. So I was up there. Did my fucking back in. I've spent most of the week just like groaning and moaning and just taking as much ibuprofen as you can humanly take to get through the day. I'm still not quite there yet, but what can you do? But you had Nick in for the 42 show. I did watch. I was going to comment in the chat saying, Nick, don't fuck up my show. He did what he did. Nick's things. What else has been happening? Must be a big problem. Must be a kid with a very, very wobbly scooter. Parent. Come on, Dick, come back. Yeah, I'm never prepared for this. I've got nothing. Too tired. But it's late at night for me. I sort of having a bloody chinwag wobbly conversation with Dick, talking about whatever. But as soon as you're like left on your own, like you have to start mumbling, talking to yourself.
Okay.
And, at that point, I might as well just be an old man. Oh, I already am. Oh, there he is.
Yeah, it's funny. It wasn't a young child. It was somebody ancient. But either way, same thing.
The scooter.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So that was interesting. Okay. Let me roll this thing. I need it now more than ever.
I was just laughing at the fact as soon as you walk away, it's just like I'm just there like a fish. Like I'm just not prepared. Not prepared for it. It's so funny because if I walk away right now, you can just just fill airtime. You can just blather on nonsense whatsoever.
Yeah.
But to me, it's just like a deer in fucking headlights.
It reminds me of a scene in a movie. Wayne's World when they go on Garth.
Yeah. That's exactly what it is. I am Garth.
That's funny.
Oh, joy.
Yeah. Oh, so where are we now? Okay. I don't think I'll get any more. I don't think I'll get any more interference at the moment. Yeah.
Because I don't think they could handle another 3 minutes of me trying to fill airtime.
I'm surprised you didn't resort to farting the national anthem.
Hang on, I'm going to write that down. The thing is, that's what I need. I need a list.
Yeah.
I need a list of things, ready to go. I never do it.
That's funny. We need Annette.
Which anthem, though?
What? Who?
Which national anthem?
I was thinking yours.
What is that one?
God Save the Queen?
Oh, that one. God Save the Queen. It's regime.
You know what? That's one of those songs. It's so overplayed. It's not funny. And I have a playlist for the Sex Pistols record. Never mind the Bullocks. Here's the Sex Pistols. And the reason I had to make a playlist for it is to skip that song so I can hear the rest of them.
Oh,
yeah. I like the song, but I've still heard it too many times. Yeah, it's too much.
You're just not a patriot.
What?
Come on, Canada was British colony, wasn't? Not Connolly. That's a Billy Connolly.
Sammy Connolly.
you know those things that happen in trousers. Yeah, Billy Connolly.
Yeah.
No, it was a British Connolly. I just did it again, colony, and you should be proud of your your fascist, anti-fascist songs.
Yeah, I'm proud that my country was once a part of the empire that brought absolute good times to India. We better not get into this.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about, Lewis?
Yeah.
Are you saying you exported weed to India?
Me? No.
Not you personally.
Mm-mm.
As a nation.
Actually, I probably imported it at one time or another. That's probably true. There was a couple of things we didn't get to tonight that I wanted to.
Yeah.
There was one about internet service providers fighting back against the American court system.
Go on, hit it.
It's a very important thing in my perspective of the world. See, what's going on right now is part of the American court system has decided that they can lay blame on internet service providers for not disconnecting a user or a account holder for a copyright infringement. Right? So let's say you download a movie or a song. That's what they're talking about. Now, the court upheld some stuff in it that is absolutely atrocious in my mind. $150,000 fine for the ISP per violation. There's no one user who can consume one piece of media that could possibly be worth $150,000, right? First off, that's stupid. The second part is on your average internet connection, you have 7 or 8 devices. You're not targeting the person who committed the offense. You're targeting the account holder, and you want legislation. Now, when I say you, I'm talking about the Motion Picture Society of America and, you know, the rights holders for movies and music, because they're the ones making this happen, right? They want these account holders cut off in their entirety. This one level of court in the United States said, yep, we agree with you. It's wrong. One of these companies was ordered to pay like $1 billion in restitutional like fines or whatever the hell it is. A second court has nullified the payment, but is still saying that the first court's decision was pretty much correct, that, you know, you're complacent in piracy if you let the account holder get away with it. Now, the internet service providers, the ISPs in America, are fighting this huge because you have accounts that go to coffee shops and stuff. And if somebody pops into the coffee shop, fires up a torrent client, downloads a couple of songs and buggers off, that coffee shop would now have to fight legally to not have their internet account deleted. And the ISP could be liable for a $150,000 fine for letting that coffee shop have their account. How is that fair? Right?
Well, if you
but here's the thing. No, hold on. Let me finish first. Right? Because there's a thing to this. The companies, the media companies, have outright admitted that going after the individual user is too difficult. It costs too much money and too much in resources. And as such, they want the internet service providers to become the police. Now, as it pertains to law right now, especially like in Canada, I'm a pirate. I download everything. And my internet service provider doesn't even give me those stupid notifications anymore, because in Canada, unless the Sony Music or whoever has my name, address, and information to send me legal documents saying that they are taking me to court, they don't even know who I am. I'm just an internet address, an IP address on the internet. And my internet service provider has no legal obligation to give up my information just because some company sends them a notice saying, hey, your person stole our movie and we want $150,000 in return for it. The Canadians have already said, fuck all this, we're not playing. And so the only way, as somebody who downloads, I can get in trouble is if they can prove that I actually pirated a specific thing and take me to court, which is nigh on impossible. This is how it should be in America. But the courts are getting in the way because they're too interested in, oh, but legally that word really means and blah, blah, blah. I mean, if I go to the hardware store and buy a hammer and cave somebody's skull in with it, the fucking hardware store isn't liable for selling me the hammer. Same thing. The internet account is a path to the internet. They shouldn't be responsible for what a person does with it. This is ridiculous. And the American courts are screwing up badly by letting this happen. But at the same time, they're letting Netflix partner with Comcast, and they all make more money. And what they do is they make Netflix look a little bit better because it gets a higher bit rate than Disney Plus. But that's allowed. It's the internet. Everything should be an even playing field. It's bullshit. I'm waiting you now. You wanted to get in. I just had to finish so that, there was context.
Oh, to make sure. It's like going to see the mother-in-law last week. When we come back, it was the first time I got to talk to my wife. No, you gotta get it out. Get your rant out. I was gonna say it's a bit like holding the government of Sudan responsible for all the Sudanese pirates that go out and attack the boats. You can't take them to task. You can't take the Sudanese government to task over that. Just all these fucking pirates out there. But it kind of got lost. It kind of got lost in translation now because of the bit when I was going to bring it up was more relevant. But that's
no, but it is, and it's unbelievable. It's like for some reason, I don't know what it is, but ever since, I kind of do know what it is. The movie and the record companies in America have had power since the invention of the compact cassette, because it could record things. And they've been fighting and lobbying and fighting and legalizing and stuff. Anything that's been able to record both video or audio has spurned the nightmare of legal to the point of insanity especially in the United States of America, to the point now where for some reason their lobby, the motion picture and the recording industry, RIAA, their lobby group has so much power that they seem to have court sway now. It's just entertainment. Like, seriously, you made a movie 40 years ago. It's been out on Laserdisc, VHD, fucking VHS, Betamax, Blu-ray UHD, streaming and blah, blah. So what if 5,000, 10,000 or whatever people download your movie? It's been on television, commercially supported so many times at this point. How many dips in the pot do you get? Because everybody who made the movie, they're not getting more dips at the pot. It's just a few people it's all bullshit.
It is kind of funny that you mentioned the fact that, they're against people that use, recording devices. Because, let's face it, most of us grew up in the days where we were watching stuff we got from Blockbusters, the video rental store, which was them putting movies onto recording devices. They put it onto VHS tape. But if you had a copy of it,
they all want it to be back as it was when I was like 5 years old in 75, where I had no real way of we actually had a reel to reel, and I did record the radio some, and I was lucky. My parents my dad was into that kind of shit, but for the most part, the recording thing happened during my life. And I've watched this fight my whole life.
Oh, did you hear? There was an amazing story. Did you hear about the story where Charlie Chaplin tried to sue a guy who went into a cinema, saw his movie, and then described it to his friend. Yeah, amazing story. I know because I just made it up.
Oh, okay. It wouldn't surprise me though, because
it is a similar sort of thing, isn't it? When you think about it, it's not far off. The same way as people go into a cinema now and like record their film with their phone and then upload it or whatever.
I mean, they used to flip out because I could take a cassette and record the American Top 40 on it, and as if that was some replacement. It wasn't. I would record it. I'd listen to it. I'd get so angry that the DJ wouldn't stop talking over the intro of the song. There's extra hiss and whatnot. I got to get my radio tuned in. It was only a filler until my allowance came and I could go and buy the fucking record, man.
But you remember how he actually used to do it when tape recorders started, coming out on the market. They were those rectangle boxes. Just the tape player, the speaker, and recorded it. And he'd actually had to hold it up. It had like a shitty little microphone on it, and he'd hold it up to the speakers. So as the song came on the radio, you'd hit record and capture it, straight out off the speakers. It's not like in the boombox days when you had you could record off the radio. You were literally just recording the airwaves coming off the speaker. And that's how, dear piracy. They weren't really, they weren't really into it back then. They didn't complain about it so much. But yeah. As soon as you started getting, hi-fi systems with a twin tape deck.
Yeah,
there's only one reason for that. There's only one reason,
exactly,
to have a twin tape deck.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember the first twin tape deck system I got supposedly had high-speed dubbing on it. And I was so excited. Now, I should have known better, but I was so excited. And I did my first high-speed dubbing on a high bias, like a proper TDK cassette to make sure. And it sounded like butt. It was terrible. But that same cassette deck, when done a dub properly, was badass. I think it was Technics. I can't remember.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah.
Quite funny talking about hi-fi equipment. I don't want to digress too far from the conversation. When we were up at the mother-in-law the weekend, she's desperately trying to get rid of stuff. Since Dad died, a couple of years ago, she's just getting rid of stuff, and she's got this absolutely beautiful. I was going to say, her husband had this beautiful Kenwood stacked system, audio system, and it's still there. They still have it. I said, not on any of your fucking Nellies. Are you getting rid of that?
Yeah. Kenwood weren't the highest end brand, but they were the best of the mid-range. It's still better than a lot of garbage brands. They were,
I might be wrong. You might not be a Kenwood. I can't remember that, but it's like of the top range of what they can do, and it's like literally you could not get anything like it today. It's such quality, very beautiful.
I've got a good setup, and even still, whenever I use the record player, I'm like, I'd like to get an older preamp, power amp, and speakers set up for this, But yeah, you always look back with cherry spectacles and then every now and then you're like, oh, this is amazing. Shit. It's not actually that good.
Where's my MP3 player?
I mean, myself now with a good Onkyo receiver and some Polk audio and stuff in the living room, my Plex server is mostly filled with high res FLAC audio files and whatnot. And it's with high res, some people go, oh, it's bullshit and blah, blah. Well, it's not quite BS because it's not so much that you can hear the difference in the higher resolution, but because it is in a higher resolution, there's a wider envelope for sound, quieter and louder, without it washing out a bit like MP3s does to quiet cymbals, and they get that sound. It's terrible, right? And what it does is not much for new music because it's all so compressed into the fucking limiter. It's not funny. But for music like Boston and Zeppelin and stuff, it brings the dynamic range back, and it's actually more enjoyable.
Yeah, but who listens to Boston and Zeppelin anymore? Come on.
I did today. I actually did.
Apart from you, who listens to Boston and Zeppelin anyway?
Those with good taste, my friend. Has there been any more word about those fucking two brothers, the Oasis guys, and their ticket scandal and all that going on over there?
I thought you meant the Tate brothers. I don't know.
Tapeworm brothers. Who?
I don't know. I really cannot.
What's their last name?
Siamese monkeys about Oasis.
Yeah. Who could give a rat's ass?
I never liked them when they came out. I don't like them now.
They still hate each other. It's going to be bad. It'll be like that Jane's Addiction show recently where there was a fist fight between band members on stage, right?
No, I remember there's like these fights between there was Oasis and
Liam Gallagher and
what was it? Jesus Christ, what was the band? Losing house in a big house in the country. Oh, go on. Who is it? Come on, chat, help me out. Just it's completely gone out of my head now. But yeah, there was
sounds like drunken Australians. Are you sure it was on a record and not just in your living room?
No. But it's just it's like these two bands were fighting out. Two Brit bands. And they were fighting it out, and it's like, and Oasis just like stayed the same. This other band, which for the life of me, I can't even think of the name of, they just went from strength to strength. So they changed. They did. I don't know why I got monkeys in my fucking head.
But I got monkeys in my head. Isn't that David Lee Roth?
Baby, I'm easy, Blur. That's it. Blur. Thank you. In
Canada, they're a one-hit wonder. All we know is hoo.
Yeah. So, but Blur then went on to do the other, like, I would say an AI band. As like a non-real band, and
the one guy's a cheese farmer now. The guy they used to throw cheese at on stage. That's some weird shit, man.
Well, at least he's doing cheese as opposed to playing it.
I remember when that song 2 came on the radio, and I was like, that's some awfully recorded, nasty, almost weird fucking shit, man. What the fuck is this?
It's got something to do with the fucking monkeys. Yeah, AI is coming. The gorillas.
Oh, God. Oh, please don't let me relive that week again. Oh, God, no.
See, I told you it had something to do with monkeys. It's the gorillas.
Oh, it is too. Oh, no. AI, why'd you fucking remind him? Oh.
That's just hilarious.
If you keep talking about them, I'm going to talk about Bryan Adams for 15 minutes.
Hey, you just wait till I get really old.
Celine Dion's on the table now. Keep going.
I'll tell you what,
I can do this all day.
When I get really old, I'm gonna have to be basing our whole conversation on just what the chat can remember. Help me remember.
Yeah.
I'll be there in the chat. Go, oh, do you remember that thing? That guy.
His nurse will be lighting his cigarette, and he'll be waiting for somebody to fill in the blanks, right? Our show will become like a fucking live game of Hangman where you have to fill in the words yourself.
Hey, that might work. AI Alchemist says, everything I do it for you.
Oh, God. Oh.
Oh, dear.
Oh, don't do no. It's okay.
That's Brian Adams, wasn't it? Is that right? Did I get
it was.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
See?
It's when Brian Adams went all.
Sometimes those synapses collapse together. and
Who's the putz that sang for Genesis and then went on a solo career and ended up getting a Grammy shoved up his ass in a South Park episode?
Phil Collins?
Phil Collins, yeah. That everything I do for you is when Brian Adams went Phil Collins for a movie thing, you know? Yeah. I think Phil Collins is still trying to pull that thing out.
LG Taku says, throw stones at Dunk, but don't sing.
You were talking about a fight there with the bands and whatnot.
Yes, we was.
A funny story was the band Extreme. You remember More Than Words and If You Don't Like What You See Here, Get the Funk Out. Remember that? And the band Skid Row, they did 18 in Life and I Remember You, the power ballad song, right? The singer from Skid Row, Sebastian Bach, I think his name is. Yep. He was the party animal crazy guy that, you know, rock and roll expected in the 80s. And he lost his shit on an airplane once and grabbed the pilot who was trying to calm him down and threw him up against the wall, and all the guys from Extreme jumped on him. This is while the airplane's in the air flying, right? And they're holding the singer from Skid Row down, and they're looking over their shoulder, and the rest of the band from Skid Row are all just sitting in their seats casually like it's nothing. And dude's like screaming and freaking out that he's going to kill the pilot. And the guys in Extreme are like, but he's the one flying the plane, you asshole. We kind of need him, right? And when everything got calmed down, the guys from Skid Row were like, this happens every day. We can't be bothered anymore. Yeah. And this was on a fucking airplane, man. This isn't like trashing a hotel or something, right? You know? Holy, you know? No, Whitefish in the chat guessing a private jet. No, because seated just behind the Skid Row guys were an elderly couple coming home from their vacation. Like they were on a regular plane in first class. Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. I just watched this little documentary about when hair metal ruled the 80s or some shit like that. And and what's his name? The guitar player from Extreme was the one telling the story because he was one of the guys holding the Skid Row singer on the ground in the plane. Oh, fuck. It was funny as hell. Yeah. Yeah, I'll never forget that because that's just, you know, that's taking the whole rock and roll lifestyle a bit far. I enjoyed that whole rock and roll lifestyle for a little while, you know, but, you know, I wasn't well, sort of.
It's glued on, is it?
Yeah, I'm not having to spray paint it in yet, but so far so good. Mid 50s, right? I still got a hairline, you know.
You can't shake your head too, but you can't do any head banging because it might slip off.
Yeah, I don't have that B. Arthur forehead yet, but it's kind of coming, right? You know. but you know, in my day, if somebody like started using intravenous drugs or something, I was like, get the fuck out of our band, man.
But I'm a doctor.
Yeah, you know, I was not willing to take it that far. You know,
it'd have been all right, you know, if you were in Doctor the Medics, you know, just injecting, you know, into the veins. You go, yeah, it's okay. I'm a doctor, and she's a medic.
You know, the doctor from the Cannonball Run, he was based on my father, so you know. I come from a distinguished family.
That Ricardo Montalban again.
Yeah, no, I probably the same accent, but I've got this one that I use, and nobody can pin it down because I've kind of stolen it from movie things, and that way I can make fun of everybody at once, right? Just throw it right out there, you know. It's like losing control of spinning a pizza and flopping it onto 5 teenagers' head as they were waiting for a slice. You know?
He's having a go at the Mexicans. or just any Spanish.
Yeah. Oh, the meek. Oh, that's nice. They've had a hell of a time.
It's so nice they get in something.
The pompous husband. No. It refers to any makers of dairy products.
Oh, my son the other day, he had a moment of clarity. He goes, I was watching Life of Brian, and I just realised the guy who plays Jesus is the same guy who plays Admiral Peart in Empire Strikes Back. the guy who's in charge of the Imperial Fleet in Empire Strikes Back. That's the guy who plays Jesus.
They'll have the Death Star as their possessions.
He rose up from the ranks, didn't he? He did very well for himself, you know.
Yeah. He didn't even have to go through that whole Moses thing, carrying around the slabs. You know,
son of a carpenter becomes leader of the Imperial Fleet.
Hey, I got a question for everybody. You know, Mel Brooks' History of the World Part 2 or whatever it's called, right? Yeah. I give you these 10 commandments, right? What if there was 5 extra commandments, but they withheld them until the modern age and dropped them on us right now? What would they be?
Yeah. Thou shalt not piracy movies.
No, it would be more like thou shall not have to submit their personal information to Mark Zuckerberg and his fucking asshole friends.
No, they wouldn't be that specific. They'd just be.
I think Nostradamus gets in there with a shout, and he provides the names, right?
I don't think he was there at the time.
Why not? Right? You know, we'll put this on the History Channel. It doesn't matter.
Oh, yeah. The History Channel. There was something I saw on the TV listings today.
Oh,
and it was like a History Channel story about Cleopatra. And I didn't watch the bloody thing, but it was just like, there was some evidence about Cleopatra's her sister. And it was like, Cleopatra, the murderer. And it's like, okay. So basically what you've done is you've got some kind of vague story thread that you've weaved into a 50-minute TV show about Cleopatra that may or may not be true.
Yeah, and could it be that yada blah blah bullshit? And if so, right?
Yeah. And I was wondering, why the hell isn't the History Channel even more full of bullshit like this, of ridiculous stories in history? Because it's always like sharks and Nazis or whatever, or ancient aliens. But my God, if you went through history, and you could just make up any bullshit about anybody just based on just a slight nugget of a story.
Yeah, this whole thing where we didn't say it, we suggested it, that gets them off the hook or whatever. I'm sorry, but your TV license as the History Channel is based on historical content. And if so, could it be that the lizard people had sex with the spaghetti monster, and as such, human beings actually originate from Mars? I mean, it's just, what the fuck, man, But you know what the History Channel's real problem is? It was started by Ted Turner when he got the rights to all this World War footage. And for the first bunch of years, it was the History Channel. And now they're just starved for content. I think I know what to do. You should be focused on things that are making modern history, like peer-reviewed scientific discoveries and blah, blah, and whatnot. But, what do I know?
Where's the fun in that? You have to fact check
I would love that.
I think we should set up a new channel, just like, could it be? Or if so, and we can just make up shit, just like they do.
And we have historical digs going on all over the world, learning new stuff. But the average person has heard of places like Göbekli Tepe and stuff more from ancient aliens than they have from actual fucking scientists. It's a joke. Drive me crazy. The History Channel should be all over this. Maybe not Zahi Hawass. I'm kind of sick of that blowhard fuck. But there's lots of really,
Well, could it be that ancient alien experts built that temple by themselves so they got something to talk about? Could it be? And if so...
Could it be that bronze chisels are actually enough to do with rock, especially when you have a couple people behind you sharpening them as you go? And if so, could humans have actually built all this bullshit we've been lying to you about for years, right? That would be History Channel.
It's like all the shows they do for NASA's secrets. all the secret stuff, all the NASA withheld.
Oh yeah. Hey, I've got a good shout out to do here because we have a tip, direct stream elements tip for $6.66.
Oh, I guess who that's from.
Yeah, well, actually, you're wrong because it's from Heather Wiley in the chat for the Booze Fund. Now that I can get behind. Thank you, Heather.
Yeah, I can tell you right now who's going to drink it.
No, that cat's busy.
So here's the thing going off on this story because I got an email from, it was like a YouTube response to a comment I made. It was like a fucking year ago, and it was one of Dave Keegan, the Globy anti-Percy kind of guy.
Oh, that guy, yeah. I've got him on Do Not Recommend. Can't be bothered.
No, I can't bother either. But this is like from a year ago, and it was like the comment was like, finally. Oh, okay. And I had to go back and there were so many comments in that thread. I had to keep scrolling up and scrolling up and scrolling up and scrolling up to see what it was I actually said.
Yeah.
And basically he was talking about what?
I forgot a shout out, but go ahead. I'll do it after.
Yeah, do.
I thought I was muted. Shut the fuck up. Keep talking. Fuck.
Shut up and keep talking. Yeah. So basically the guy was doing a video about, the moon landing and all the fakes and stuff like that. And my comment was, so why did NASA stop making fake moon landing movies? Because I thought that was a really, really important point. Because all these people are talking about, they faked the moon landings. They quite easily just. Why did they stop? Why did they suddenly stop making fake moon landings? Because they've already got the sets.
Yeah,
built all the props. Right, they carried on. And I was thinking about it today after I saw their response. And I was thinking, if NASA were faking shit back in that day,
Yeah.
we would literally have what is, that
We'd have a
TV show.
star. We'd have a Star Trek space station around Jupiter. The whole
What would it be? What it would be like, for all mankind?
yeah,
Because
totally.
because
I
they
love
would
that
have
show.
Well, because they would have to keep building it up and building up and making things
Exactly.
better and more fakery and even
Yeah.
and you can just imagine all these people. It's like, I've just joined the NASA astronaut team, but
Yeah.
I don't know why, but they sent me off for 9 months of acting school.
Yeah, if you go back to the Apollo missions while they were still happening and people were still landing on the moon, there was a moment, I think it was Apollo 16 or 17, one of the last ones, where the network television cut the live broadcast of the astronauts to go to other TV because the ratings were so low.
Yeah.
The idea of people repeatedly landing on the moon and just like digging up a bit of soil and hitting a golf ball and stuff had already become commonplace before Apollo even finished.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, well, that was the thing. It was so mundane.
Yeah.
Is that why would NASA fake that? Yeah. Why would NASA go to all the trouble of faking the moon landing if it was that dull?
Especially when the competitors were watching them. So, do you really think NASA could get away with faking the moon landing without Russia calling bloody murder? And as such, you're now, by calling it a fake, you're hooking Russia and every other civilization that had space-based radar for tracking and stuff and whatnot into question. You're calling in it's just ridiculous. It's so ridiculous. I want to give a shout out here to Cypher in the chat. And one extra. Because Cypher upgraded to Shills Master. And that is something to be celebrated. Thanks, big time.
Let's put him in charge.
Yeah, you know what? Mm-hmm.
You're on it.
Yeah.
Cypher, you're in charge now.
Yeah, if you would like to control the AIs that are this... oh, shit. Wait a minute. Oh, fuck.
There's no AI.
Okay, if you would like to help produce the show in the background...
yeah, we're the only show that has the A, but not the I.
Yeah, exactly. Whole lot of artificial... actually, it should be a beer. No, wait, because I wouldn't drink artificial beer.
Oh, you're stumbling. You're stumbling now.
Fuck that up.
You dug yourself a fucking hole now.
Yeah, this show is not AI driven; it's alcohol driven. That makes more sense, right? So, was there anything else we missed today?
Yeah, I realized earlier that, when you buggered off and left me on my own, I should have brought up some...
sad, Dunk?
No,
did that make you insecure and a little unsure of yourself as a person?
Yeah, all right. Don't have to, no fucking... No. I'm not on the fucking couch now, with my psychotherapist, Was it like competing with that big dick? It's very depressing, to be honest with you. You can't compete with a dick like that. But no, I realised, I should have gone, when you buggered up to the door, I should have gone to the couple of stories that I had that I didn't get around to. But
yeah. It's taken 3 years, but he's starting to figure this out. Give him another. Does anybody? I forgot to mention this.
Hey, I can fuck off, and you can have Nick on as your full-time partner. There you go.
No, he doesn't drink. He's not appropriate fodder for an after show. We're doing well.
So there you go. Anybody who, if you want to, send in your entrance forms to replace me, that's the only qualification you need.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you drink? A? Yes. B? No.
Yeah. Do you pick up the tab? Let's face it, I do have priorities. I wanted to point out with the set we've got going in the background right now. Does anybody recognize where we are just from the graphics you can see on screen?
Oh, behind everything else.
Mm-hmm.
Not
well, okay, you can guess, but let everybody else guess first, right? I'm pretty sure you'll figure it out.
I didn't even fucking bother to look. I forgot about that.
I can take our big active speaker away, but I'm not going to do that until you've had a chance to guess first. Let's see. On a Samsung screen. Nothing that deplorable, LG. Easy now. Here. Should I'll give you all a couple more seconds. Should I give a hint?
You could try.
Think about a fantasy universe that many nerds and geeks like, and this is a location that is very iconic. We got somebody who's on the right track now.
It looks like some kind of telephone operator's thing on with all the cables.
Oh, we got two people on the right track. Cables. Yeah, we got White Fishy one there and Heather Wiley in the chat that are on the right track now. That should give you a clue, everybody. But this is a location that be moving. It be covering distance.
Is it the Millennial Falcon?
It is indeed. Well done. Oh, Whitey Fish got it. White Fishy got it in the chat. Millennium Falcon. Yep. Before I pulled it, Toasty's got it too there. Yep. Good one. I thought I'd throw that in the background to, have some fun. I think it's a fan artist rendition. It's not actually,
it's not a real one.
Yeah.
It's not a real photograph of the Millennium Falcon. The real one.
Yeah. Well, Han said I wasn't allowed to take pictures when I was there. I was just able to, hang out for a bit and stuff. I gotta say, Wookiees have really poor toilet manners. It's not good.
Yeah, I wonder how you wipe. How do you wipe a Wookiee?
You needed a bidet with a lot of pressure to penetrate the fur, right? I mean, the Wookiee got enough fur going on that you can't even tell male, female, or, your choice insert here, right?
This is why you see the Ewoks and they're all got like striped fur, because that's what the Wookiees used to wipe their bums with.
Yeah. They're the rabbits in the joke, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Ewoks, man. I don't want to, trounce on anybody's childhood memories.
Here we go. We got a man who doesn't like the Ewoks.
It's not even so much that, but by the time that Return of the Jedi comes out, you can see that part of the writing and inspiration for the movie is the toys that can be sold.
Could be said. Could be said.
I mean, what are those stupid fucking little electronic teddy bear like little things that people bought that would talk to them? Furbies. They were Ewoks without having the full body. They were Ewoks. That was the same thing. Yeah, you know. My ex-wife bought like 30 of them that were like rare and expensive on eBay at one time. Oh my God.
And what happened to them? Ended up in the bin?
I think they morphed into Funko Pops and turned up on somebody else's fucking shelf.
That's another thing that I just don't understand. I just don't understand that at all.
Cheap painted plastic. I'll pay $70 for that. What?
Yeah.
You know?
There was that other plushy thing that went mad. Well, Beanie Babies. Remember Beanie Babies?
Yeah.
And it's like people were going mad over those.
Yeah. There are...
After a few years, nobody gives a shit.
Yeah. There are even now, though, people into Furbies, and there are rare collectible Furbies that are worth a lot of money and stuff, right? I get that. And I think if I'm right, there's even some ways to hack Furbies and have some fun if you're into that, right? Because if I'm not mistaken, I do believe that the Furby is based on a processor, CPU, that's based on the 6502 processor that powered the Commodore PET VIC-20, VIC-64, or Commodore 64 or whatever, and all those other, like the BBC Micro and everything, right?
See, the thing is, in the days of the Alexa, the Siri, all those little devices, you'd think the Furby would have like a massive comeback, just have this little talking thing in the corner.
I want to point out Jenny Johnson in the chat there. Willow played an Ewok. That's a good one. I love that movie Willow.
It's terrible,
but it's awesome. I know,
awesomely terrible.
I love it because I have rose tinted goggles for what the era it came out in, right? And I can see through that, but
you can't do that. You can't do that with Return of the Jedi, though.
But I will say this, compared to some movies that have come out over the years, like I remember during Lord of the Rings, I lost the perspective of the hobbits being small many times when they were doing their thing, and they just come across as people. But in Willow, they really kept the whole you're small, you're big thing way better with camera angles and stuff or whatever it was,
little people. That was the difference. They actually used actual little people.
Okay. Yeah. What's his name? What's his name?
What, Willow?
Yeah.
Himself. Yeah. Again, lost. I should know his fucking name.
Yeah, he was even on Top Gear. I should know it.
Warwick Davis.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a funny guy, and he did a whole TV show over here. There was a Ricky Gervais show called Life Is Short, and he basically plays Warwick Davis, who set up an agency for little people and to try to get them work. And he just basically like drags up those like, old celebrities that are not doing really well.
Yeah,
and he takes them on tour. Yeah. He puts his own money into it, and he makes them famous again. And then they get a new fucking agent, and they're pissed off without him, and he's on his own. It's really sad, but it's rules like Spinal Tap kind of. Humor.
He had a great appearance on Top Gear where he even threw shade at Richard Hammond for being too short. It was fucking funny, man.
Yeah, Warwick's a funny guy. The thing is, he's not a particularly good actor. Yeah, it's a problem with the shorter people.
He showed that in that new revival of the Willow TV show.
Oh,
And it didn't work out well. Like there's scenes where they're supposed to be doing the Lord of the Rings running through the valley and stuff to get somewhere. And it's just like Warwick ain't running anywhere, man. He's old now and stuff, right? And it's all editing to make it work.
Well, he could barely run when he was younger.
Yeah, I mean, and it all comes off as like Sabrina the Teenage Witch or something on TV. It was really,
You know what? I mean, I do sound like I'm being very disparaging towards Warwick, but
I like him.
No, I love him. I love him. I think he's great. But I could not even bear to bring myself to watch that show to see the destruction of.
They literally.
You talk about Willow in the first place, and I say it's a pretty shitty movie. It was a pretty shitty movie, but to make a TV show that's even worse than the shitty movie.
And the TV show, they went to the local community college and they just said, we're auditioning freshmen that are slim and pretty. And I don't think there was a spark or ounce of talent in the entire cast. It was terrible.
Oh, and they had some kind of weird lesbian relationship.
Hey Jay, what the fuck are you doing up? Go to bed. You're still not feeling well. Hey, sorry.
Yeah, didn't they bring in some kind of like weird lesbian story relationship? But why?
Yeah, because I'll tell you why.
Because I've got nothing against it, but here's part of the parcel.
I'll tell you why. Because they were young and hot, and that makes it inclusive.
Hot lesbian time. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. How inclusive is that? Right?
But it's just like the remake of Time Bandits. I mean, I don't know if you've ever seen the original one. I doubt you have.
I haven't downloaded, but I still haven't done it.
Yeah, the original Time Bandits, and it was like full of little people. When I say little people actors. I don't want to use the word midgets, but little people, and they were the Time Bandits. So the Apple comes out with a new TV series with Lisa Kudrow, from Friends, who's like the main Time Bandit, and just other people who aren't little people. They're just normal sized people.
Is that what that show is? I haven't watched that yet.
Yes, it's a remake or a reimagining of the movie, and from what I can tell,
it has Tori Spelling.
It doesn't hit any of the marks.
How did she get a job? Her father died.
Does that count?
Well, that's the only way she ever got on TV before.
Yeah, because my father's dead, and that's not me getting work.
Yeah, but no, she's the daughter of Aaron Spelling, the guy who owned television in America for like 30 years, right? K&K
is laughing at me, saying as Yoda saying little people.
That's funny. Yeah.
Hey, I'm perfectly proportioned. I'm 6 feet tall. I'm just like very wide.
He's just got a massive set of ears.
Yeah. Then you know what they say about.
Could you imagine? If your avatar was really 6 foot tall, you would have to have the strongest neck known to humanity to keep that fucking melon up without just, toppling over.
Oh, that reminds me, Luis Elizondo.
Oh, yeah.
Mr. No Neck, the UFO guy, is hit the big time because, that's too divergent. I should have brought him up when we were talking about the ancient aliens.
The question is, what is it? What does it want? And how much can I make from talking about it?
Yeah. Fucking lying bullshit. He went on the Today Show to promote his book. and he did everything he could possibly do to say that aliens are invading the planet without actually fucking saying it or crossing the line of lying.
Exactly. He's a master of wording now. He went to law school and he figured it out, right?
Because there's someone like me who used to be like an avid follower and believer of UFOs and all, say UFOs, is flying saucers, aliens invading or visiting the planet, all that kind of stuff. I loved it. I was a sucker for it, and I soaked it all up. But now, looking back at it, when you see people word things very, very, very carefully.
Oh, yeah.
So they don't actually say a lie.
Yeah.
But try to give the imagination that something else is going on.
Yeah.
Oh, it fucking winds me up, especially when they got people in Congress talking about it. It's like, we can't talk about it.
When the first Ancient Aliens episodes came out, it was just a special. It was only supposed to be like 6 episodes or whatever. They were longer than TV episodes, and I remember a friend of mine was right into it. He was like, "Oh my God, this is awesome." But I'm a amateur reader of Egyptology and other archaeological things. I really like ancient history. Don't really give a shit for World War II and stuff. That's just modern humans being assholes, right? But
give it time. It'll be ancient history.
Oh yeah. But not in my existence, right? But I like that. And I remember watching Ancient Aliens, and they're talking about how humans could never have done this and that and so on. And I'm like, but I already know they can. And my buddy was like, "Oh my God, you got to see this." So we're watching it, and I'm like, "Yeah, no, hold on, pause that. That's wrong."
I always love that argument, but humans can't do this. Just because you're not explaining how they can do it doesn't mean they can't do it.
Yeah,
it's like it is amazing, and that's the thing. That's the thing, is they're trouncing on the ability of human beings.
I know,
to be able to do this shit and say, "Oh, humans can't do that. It must be aliens." No, give some fucking credence to the people. I
know. We're not actually idiots. This is the whole thing. Like, I find when people are like, "Oh, the invention of farming, that was like, this unbelievable breakthrough." To me,
aliens.
Yeah. Why do you think there's those circles in the crops? They're just trying to get credit for it. But to me, you do your seed crunching thing and blah, blah, and you collect them and all that, back in the day, right? Somebody drops a few seeds.
You're not a farmer, are you? I can tell.
I'm not Caleb, right? But then you go back to that place later on and you notice that the same thing that you had the seeds for has grown there, because there's going to be one or two that fly off the little mortar and whatever it's called, and things like that, right? I don't see the advancement of farming as an unbelievable leap, because I think humans are just smart enough that they went, you know what? Those little things seem to grow the things that we get the little things from. I see the whole idea of figuring out fire as harder. We keep finding in the archaeological record further and further back evidence of people living together in areas. Well, hunter-gatherers don't live together in areas, because unless you replenish, there's not a lot to hunt or gather. And it seems to me that humans might have been a little bit smarter than, historically we were taught, me being 50 some, right, in school. I'm not saying that we're going to discover Atlantis had spaceships or anything. I'm just saying that maybe humanity was a little bit quicker on the draw at times, but we're learning it, right? And then, You've got ancient aliens in all these places corrupting the story that's coming out of all these really cool old sites that we're finding,
Well, also corrupting the knowledge of people who actually studied it. They go and they could probably give you like a real precise explanation of why this enormous stone is there, how it got there, or potentially how it got there, and all this other stuff. And they just go, nah, fucking aliens, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it's a bit. I don't want to go into religion too much, but it's very, very similar to how religion kind of like simplifies things. Just say, oh yeah, just God did it, whatever. And it's like no. We can actually use science,
but as soon as you put our creator did it in the argument, that closes the door to learning because you now know, right? Yeah. And I like how throughout antiquity we've had people that have just been like, oh, I'm sorry, that's not good enough for me.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I think humanity is, a tad smarter than we get credit for, but you put us in a big enough room and you get everybody worked up, and holy fuck, are we stupid?
Well, 50% of us are stupid.
Yeah, but you know what I mean? That wasn't an election America reference at all. I wasn't doing that at all.
It is actually quite funny when I saw a video of someone trying to explain to a stupid person the bell curve of being, the average intelligence. 50% of people are below average intelligence. Yeah. No.
And they
exactly. I think way more people are. That's the average intelligence. That's how it works. It's 50%.
and there's this overarching Dunning-Kruger effect that I think social media is giving people, where you've got people that didn't even graduate from public school, let alone high school, and they've got a chip on their shoulder as if they're smart people.
PJC that says, does that include Arwen in the humanity?
One day we're going to have to bring Arwen up on the show just to show people.
Let's bring him on the show. No. We'll have him as a guest.
Oh, yeah, because that will go over real well.
Do you know what? I'm actually starting to have a lot more respect for flat earthers than I do for anti-flat earthers at this point. It's a really weird thing to say, but I'm actually starting to see.
The guy's a raging anti-Semite. We cannot have him anywhere near us.
He's in anti-everything. I don't know. I don't think he was just like anti-Semite. He's like anti or whatever.
Even still, that's enough for me. You know what I mean? I'm not hating on a persecuted person because they were smart enough to, play the long game. Fuck that. Oh man.
Yeah, and there's us talking about
Well, we gotta bring up
what
we gotta bring up one of his videos one day just to show people what the septic. I got it.
You have to find the video that we did when he was talking, and I said to you,
is that when I built the wall up?
Yeah. I said to you, like, just put some more bricks, brick him in, like. We were comparing him to like Thomas the Tank Engine and George the Angry Train got bricked into his tunnel, and I said, put more bricks. And you just did more bricks.
You see where we're on the big screen, but we have our small spot. He was on the big screen as we were talking about his video, and I slowly bricked him in, and then I put him behind bars at the end, and it was really funny. Over like a 5-minute period, I built this brick wall around him. It was funny as fuck.
I can't even remember why we brought him up. It was just, it's like, old Shills stuff.
I remember I got a few people after that show and they were like, how did you build a brick wall around a guy live on the show while talking? And I was like,
Because we're clever like that.
no. Well, that's what you got to do is you got to
It was
bake the shit
aliens.
in.
Aliens. It was all aliens. We didn't have the technology, so we used aliens to do it.
Yeah. Once they were done doing their crop circles, they came over to give me a hand.
It's kind of funny, though. It's just like, people say, well, how did you do that? That's impossible. No human could possibly do that. How is this even possible? we should have been on an ancient alien show saying, oh, look, these guys bricked a guy up live on a show. How could this possibly be?
Yeah.
We can do it. And that was in the days before even my lips moved.
That's true. Yeah. 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 And back then we were all avatars. Nobody was on camera on this show, right? It was completely different. We only showed the victim. That was fucked up.
The guest.
That was funny though. That night there was people dying of laughter in the chat. Oh my God, that was funny. We slowly built a brick jail around this guy. I'll never forget that. I got to get those brick diagrams so I can do that to you fucks now and then, right? That's it,
Yeah, do that on the Ukraine update and when Starsky's talking.
I was thinking,
I'm sure he'd like that.
You know what I should do with you now and then is instead of the bricks, I should make it look like you're in a pet carrier. One of those things you take on an airplane. Oh no, this is just my Yoda. It's okay.
I could put some bars in front of you. Hey, talking about Starsky. You got the show tomorrow with Starsky.
Oh yeah.
When you talk about the Ukrainian strike on that ammo dump in Russia,
yeah,
I can't wait to see how long it takes you to just take the fucking smile off Starsky's face.
Yeah. Actually, at that point, I will be
grinning about that.
Oh yeah, I'll be encouraging it. I'll have some kind of snide remark that just makes him go off, right? Because he'll start as Starsky on his channel doing a report of the situation, and then he'll slack a bit because he's like on the Shills hanging out, so he'll be a little bit, and then I'll prod him with a stick and he'll do something really stupid. It'll be funny. That's what I'm there for, right? To push people over the line and into insanity.
I thought that was my job.
No, that's what you do to me, and I just, let it roll downhill to others, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
it's like a snowball, right?
Yeah. You just learn from the best.
Oh, and I got a hold of Phil Ittner to see if he's joining us tomorrow. Yeah, well, I know he's got some real, hard-hitting news reporter attitudes. But it's really funny when he joins us where he can just go, oh, fuck all that. And, let his personality come in more. I quite like that. I like him. He's a great addition to the show. But we got to get him in the studio more, where his better mic is. Are you watching, Phil?
Don't make Dick mad. Don't make him angry. You won't like it when he's angry.
Yeah. You wouldn't like me when I'm angry.
It's all fucking Mike envy with you, isn't it?
I'm just such a thing for audio, right? I mean, everybody knows Commander McMillan with his better mic now, although he's the bionic man on his headset again. But, we made that happen, right? Oh, I'm getting on the CBD thing here. I'm if I sit too long in one position.
Send me some, for God's sake.
Oh, It's criminal that it's not, legal for you guys to get high legally. No, it's CBD.
Yeah, it's exactly criminal. Yeah.
Thought that was an odd opinion.
Because I suffer from chronic psoriasis of the skin. It's fucking asshole.
Oh, that sucks.
But yeah, I think this is all part of it because I think because there's also a thing with psoriasis, you get like a psoriatic arthritis, and it's a bit like fibromyalgia, which I know you suffer from. And it's starting to encroach on me now, and it's like it's just like
oh yeah,
just every fucking morning I just wake up with aches, pains.
Oh yeah. I always, people say to me, what is it like to have fibromyalgia? And I always say to them, imagine you fell out of a second-story window yesterday.
Yeah.
That's how you feel.
Or half an hour ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
I did it again. Someone dragged you up, threw you out again.
Yeah. So, let's see here. We're coming on 2 hours. We should probably, we could go longer, but I think what we should do is continue it in one of those other chatter, Yeah.
I know you can go longer. I've seen the pictures.
Yeah, well, my ex-wife agrees, but I still kicked her out. So
it's kind of interesting because there was a story I was going to bring up, which was, a guy who felt something slip past it. I was just going to wonder, if you can let your cock loose.
I was going to encourage you to hit that one at the end, but
I was, I'm going to keep. I'm going to keep these two stories back because
it'll be one of those stories where we intro it with "finally we get to it."
Yeah. I'm going to keep hold of them.
But here, before we go, I just want to say this vertical mouse that I've been using. Right here's the whole thing. It's a regular mouse, but it's vertical and it's got a couple of cool buttons on the top and on the side that help. If you're
sponsors tonight,
no, don't do that because I would never take money from Logitech. I fucking hate them. If somebody else would reliably start making cool mice, I would buy your product to get away from them, please. But if you are a carpal tunnel syndrome person, it's taken me 24 hours. And I'm really used to it. I produced both shows today using it, and it's no problem. And you can feel the relaxation in your wrist. I recommend it.
Oh,
but I'll give you another report in 2 weeks to see if I still stand by that. Yeah. So, remember, don't tell your parents where you were because they probably wouldn't want to hear it.
Yeah, they hear it now.
That's
your parents are amazing.
Yeah, we have the grandparents here.
If your grandma's a cougar, send her around.
Yeah, but send pictures first because I want to know what I'm getting into.
If you don't know what you're getting into this stage, there's no chance helping you. These fucking diagrams.
Yeah. Just remember, knitting is not on the agenda. So we've got Annette, PJ CNET, Shayna Caldwell, Chris Lundy, Super Chat, Matt.
PJ should be in bed.
That's right, PJ. You should be in bed.
Get your pajama pants on.
I don't care who's on OnlyFans live right now. You got to get your rest, dude. Come on.
Dick's the only guy who puts the U into OnlyFans. Or to the only into
OnlyFans. I'm not concerned about a person's shame or visibility. I'm concerned about them, and I want to make sure they're doing their best for themselves.
Well, that's what you say in the comments. I don't know. I've never been to OnlyFans. I don't know if you have do they have a comment section? Like, do they do that on OnlyFans where they're like doing a streak and all like comments on the other side? You go, get your tits out for the ball.
Well, speaking of which, we should end on good consumer advice. So, if you can't make a pussy purr with the stroke of your hand, buy her a good dinner, because at least, she'll show up at your front door for a kiss.
Yeah, a bit of milk. That's what you give your pussy, isn't it? A bit of milk.
And if you're a dairy farmer, for the love of God, don't milk the cows orally.
Not only the girl ones.
Yeah. You can milk the boy ones that way, but only if you've got Kevlar armor. So remember, it was your choice.
Gag reflexes.
Remember, it was your choice to be here, so it's not our fault. Have a good evening.
Oh, that's what he says to me every night.
We might show up for a hangout in the Discord, or we might just not. I have no idea. Yeah.
Who knows?
Dunk has a date with C3PO, but that's another story. We better get the fuck out of here.
Press the fucking button. You rambling bastard.